So Fortnite has removed building, and it's fucking dreadful.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
Greetings, demons, and welcome to a Fortnite discussion video. And of course, as many of you already know, we recently got the brand new season release of Chapter 3 Season 2, and with it came something that nobody expected. They removed building for the first 9 days of the season, and honestly, when I heard about that, I was actually kind of interested. It was something that sounded good to me. I was, not necessarily excited by it. It didn't really make me go, this is going to be a great season or anything. But it did make me think maybe it would calm the sweats down a little bit, make lobbies a little bit easier. I have pretty good aim, I've grown up on Call of Duty. My aim is pretty good, all things considered. What I didn't expect was that everyone that usually builds the Burj Khalifa in 10 seconds also apparently has extremely good accuracy, and that kind of took me by surprise, to say the least, and it has completely ruined the game for me. I'm someone who has never been good at building. I've been playing since Chapter 1, Season 1. I've never, ever been good at building. It's just never happened. I don't know why. I've tried. I've been playing for so long at this point that if I can't learn it by now, I'm not going to learn it in the future. I'm definitely better than I used to be, but I'm still trash. I can't run 90s or whatever. It's not in my DNA. It's not something that's in my skill set, honestly. And quite honestly, I've been fine with that. My accuracy makes up for it. I have very good, stealth abilities in Fortnite. I play a medic whenever I play trios or squads. I don't do it as much in duos, and obviously I don't do it in solos, but I carry a lot of meds and traversal items, and I focus on being able to keep my team alive, or at the very least be able to reboot them without any hitches or issues or anything like that. So generally, I don't need the building. The building that I use is mostly defensive. It's things like basic boxes. It's placing a wall just so I've got a bit of cover. It's basically stuff like that, maybe building up for a launch pad or a bounce pad or whatever else. That's really the extent of my building. And that's all I need. That's perfectly good for me. Losing building altogether, though, has had such an adverse ability on me where I've gone from barely using building, but using it pretty strategically, using it just in moments where that's the best option, to now I can't do that. And so I've had some horrible experiences this season so far, where things like I've been, maybe looting in a semi-open area, somewhere that's not really got any major defenses. There's no massive rocks or trees or anything to hide behind necessarily. But I'm not in the middle of a field, I'm not out in the open. I'm just generally visible. And suddenly I get shot from one direction. So, I hide from that direction. They got shot in the back. Oh no, I'm now trapped between two different people. Get shot in the side, get shot in the front again. Just keep getting shot from all different angles. Because I just happen to be in the line of sight of 6 people, 7 people. Plus, it just adds up very quickly. And, having an overshield, which is what they've done instead of having builds, they've just given us a 50 health overshield that regenerates. It's not really helping. Because I'm immediately losing that 50 in 1 or 2 shots from any direction. I can't fire back because I'm getting shot in the back if I fire at one person, or the side if I'm firing at another person, or whatever else. And I don't have any way of covering myself. And sure, you could say, oh, that's what the tactical sprint's for running away, you can climb up walls, you can do all this other stuff. That's great and everything. But that doesn't help. Because at the end of the day, unless you have something like impulses, which I don't carry generally, you're kind of screwed. There's no placeables like launch pads currently either, because technically that's building. So there's no real way other than impulses to quickly get away from people without getting shot. There's plenty of ways of just getting around people, moving away from people quickly, but you are more likely than not going to get shot at some point during that. If you run away even with tactical sprint, you're fast, fair enough, but you're not evasive. You're going to get shot. And that's just how it is when it comes to this entire season so far. It's been hell, because what I've realised, that I kind of said earlier, is my aim is good, but it's not good enough to counter how many people at any one point are firing at me. And sure, you could say, well, land at emptier locations, land at places that people don't go, make sure that you've got plenty of good loot, make sure you've got full shields, stuff like that. That's fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. But eventually, you're going to move into populated areas. It's a guarantee, whether the storm pushes you there, or whether the final circle's there, or whatever else. You eventually have to go to somewhere where other people are active. And at that point, people like me, I'm just screwed. And I've always stood by that aim is more important than building skill, and generally that's always worked for me. I've always been someone who was focused way more on having the most accurate aim, the most shots hit of any altercation, and that generally wins me fights. But right now, I've lost an advantage that I had, which was I'm not wasting time building. I'm purely focusing on getting as much damage onto people as physically possible, maybe timbering, maybe knocking down some buildings, maybe using fireflies or any other fire item to burn down a structure. I've been focusing on pure damage, while they've been focusing on high ground and whatever else, things that are advantageous, but not necessarily in the short term. I've been focusing on that short-term engagement and the ability to escape quickly or defend in a moment's notice. That's just not something I can do with this current season, and it's honestly quite tragic that Fortnite's gone this way, because at the end of the day, I didn't enjoy last season. I'm going to make it very clear, I did not enjoy last season very much at all, but it wasn't to do with the fact that sweats were bad, because sweats are always bad. They have been for the last 2 years. I've got used to the fact that I shoot someone for 12 damage and suddenly they've built a skyscraper. That's not the issue that I have. The issue is just that I was bored. But this has taken it from boredom of the game to straight up, I'm not enjoying my experience. And that is not something that I think Fortnite or Epic or whatever else actually wants. And that's the most annoying thing, is that I'm seeing on Twitter, in the community, just around on YouTube, everything like that, people are enjoying the current season without building. People are asking for this to be a permanent mode, like an LTM or whatever else. And sure, make that a thing. I'm not saying that they shouldn't keep this as some sort of alt mode, but I do not want them to keep this. The last thing that I want is any more times where I don't have building, because it has completely ruined my experience of what on paper seems like a good season. We've got so many new traversal abilities, with the tactical sprint and the wall climbing, the parkour. We have so many vehicles. There's the battle buses that aren't out yet, I don't believe. There's the tanks. There's obviously the blimp locations, the vertical zip lines and stuff like that. There's so much interesting stuff this season I want to like. But I just can't, because of this season just removing something that I previously kind of relied on other people utilizing. Because as I say, I'm not someone who actually needed to be able to use the building ability, because I barely use it. I place maybe 10 things, unless I'm doing a challenge, in a match. That's not even exaggerating or anything. I barely place things. I place 2 or 3 walls in an engagement. I might place some stairs if I'm trying to get up something. That's really it. I don't really use it offensively, just defensively. Not having that, and realistically, we do have the cow catcher, which is a defensive item, kind of like a riot wall or whatever. That does seem to work pretty well, but that means taking up a inventory slot, which isn't ideal, especially when, I like to carry 3 weapons, 1 med and 1 explosive, or 1 other tool, so something like a harpoon gun maybe. Not having those options, it's not ideal. And as I say, the thing that they've done to try and mitigate the issues, the overshield, doesn't do what I think Epic wants it to do. Because it doesn't make it so that you're more likely to survive an altercation. It just makes it so that you suffer for longer. And that's honestly my opinion on it. And I think overall that is my entire thoughts on this entire situation. I think it's a really dumb move. Personally, I understand that people do enjoy it, and fair enough if you did. I'm not trying to take away your fun or anything. I just personally thought it wasn't very good. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. So if you liked it, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're not yet, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Otherwise, tell me what you think of the no building. I'm going to aim for this coming out a little bit before, because I'm recording it a few days before the 9 days are up. So, it still probably is active, so if you haven't tried it, make sure to try it. But yeah, tell me what you think of it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you the same as me, where it's kind of ruined your experience? Or do you think it's the future of Fortnite? Do you think this is what Fortnite should be, because that's certainly not what I'm thinking. But in any case, that's going to be it from me. So thanks for watching. Check links in the description to my new podcast, as well as my second channel where I do bonus content. And on Twitter as well, because I talk a lot about Fortnite in there. But otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but we'll survive. I just wanna tell